Hey everybody, welcome to Dad, Daughters, and Drinks, where you'll always get at least two of those three. Today is our exciting conclusion of Alffy Rev's Wonderland Indonesia series. So we accidentally started off with the third one, The Guardian of Nusantara. Then we did Wonderland Indonesia Volume 1. Now we're going to be doing Wonderland Indonesia Volume 2, The Sacred Nusantara. I think this should actually give me a little bit more perspective about everything that happens in The Guardian of Nusantara, which I guess you could call Wonderland Indonesia 3. If it was called that, I missed it, but it seems like they're all kind of related. The one thing I did realize in the Wonderland Indonesia 1, more than I did from watching the Guardian of Nusantara, is that Alffy Rev is an extremely talented person. It's been made very clear in the comments that he funded this all himself, or at least there wasn't any government assistance. You know, maybe he had other people that helped him out or something, but it was his project. He was the brainchild of it. He wrote, all of the orchestration for it. A lot of it is for, I think, traditional songs from different cultures within Indonesia that he kind of, a lot of times was performing and did all the orchestrations for, a lot of different people singing. So it's all been very cool, like kind of exploration of Indonesian culture and history. And I'm all here for it. So I'm interested to see what happens in the second one. So let's go ahead and get started. A term first recorded in the book of Negara, I'm not even going to try, I'm going to butcher it, 14th century, to describe the concept of state adopted by Mahapahit, something, 13th to 16th century, I don't know what that is. An empire based on the island of Java that once reached its peak of glory. Today, Nusantara is used to describe the Indonesian archipelago, I've heard it pronounced multiple ways, that spreads from Sumatra to Papua New Guinea? Which I think that's the last island on the eastern edge, and I think Papua New Guinea is a different country that's on the eastern side of that island, and Indonesia stops in that island, if I remember the original video I watched correctly. So here we've got Nusantara, 1293 to 1527. So this is looking back at Nusantara. The visuals on these videos have always been really high production value as well, so I'm looking forward to that. Looks like we had a couple of gamelan bells happening. If you haven't watched this with headphones, watch it with headphones. I mean, I've got like 10 seconds in, but already there's some cool effects happening in the different ears, which I always enjoy. Let me go back for a second. There was some writing. Is this writing on the stone here? I can't tell if that's writing or just symbols or something. It looks like it could be saying something. If you know what that's saying, let me know in the comments. And there's a similar kind of cool effect on the snake coming up. She was in the last one, I think. Tahta indah terukir prasasti, tata krama terlukis abadi di tanah ini kita terlahir, langit memanggilnya tanah Now she just said it like Nusantara. Is that am I saying it wrong when I say Nusantara? Is it Nusantara? Or is that just because of the way she was singing it? I'd like to pronounce it correctly. If somebody can let me know if I'm doing it wrong.
Once upon a time, there was a princess who lived in a beautiful land, which everything in it lived peacefully. She spent all her time in the depth of a forest with her 8 little friends. There was a hidden secret place, so magical and dangerous at the same time. This magical forest, which everything
it's the forest.
all her time lived peacefully.
I just want to make sure I'm catching.
She spent all her time in the depth of a forest.
So this is her.
With her 8 little friends.
It's showing these birds and this
There
kind
was
of
a
dragon.
hidden secret place, so
But here it looks like there's.
dangerous at the
Is this like a dragon with 8? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 8 birds flying with it?
same time. This is the story where the culture had start. And now, let me take you on a journey. So welcome to Wonderland Indonesia, the sacred Nusantara.
Yeah, this is all familiar from the third one now. It's kind of a similar setup as the Wonderland Indonesia 1, where he's got these, like his kind of keyboard in the middle and these displays behind him. But I think in the first one, he was outside, and now it looks like there's either it's the same place and they've put a covering over it, or he's in a different building. But it's clearly a setup that's working for him. I love this kind of music too, this kind of intense vocals as background music. This is beautiful. She's a beautiful singer. Plays everything. age of destruction. It's interesting the way the lyrics are jumping and back and forth between the different languages. It's almost making it hard to follow when I'm reading the translation because the English is on different lines for me. Cool guitar. All right, and if I remember what people had told me in the comments and what I had seen in some of the other videos, so this is primarily represented. So you've got a lot of invading forces in the islands now that are Indonesia. Which I seem to remember. I don't know if this was original or near the end, but it was primarily what Japan and the Dutch that I think were represented by these invading animals. And so right now things aren't going well. All right, so the invaders come. There's a lot of destruction. That's so sad. Oh, this is somebody else singing. beautiful place to shoot a video.
One day at another time.
Is this like a famous picture? Or is that just something that was made for the video?
A girl will unearth the civilization that has been buried deep. A girl will unearth the civilization that has been buried deep for so long.
Oh. So it's kind of like turning into a modern day magic thing. I wonder if this is kind of...
on that day.
Oh, it's over already. Axio, so that was on the laptop he had, so they might be sponsoring that. There's the symbol that we saw a few times in the forest. So he doesn't just, like, so he directed it. He didn't write this part of it, produced it, okay. Director of photography, production designer, edited. This guy does everything, man. Yeah, so there were the two women singing. Yeah, a couple rappers. Are they brothers? Some cool artwork here. We see the floating islands. We saw them in the last video, and we see them in the next one. I don't think we saw them in this one. Now, when I talked about the Dutch and the Japanese coming, it almost seems like, and we saw the years in the beginning that talked about back kind of in the 12, 13, 1400s. And so I'm wondering if this was representing a different series of invasions that happened back then that was fought off, seemed like successfully, and then maybe the Nusantara Wonderland was a different set of invasions that happened more recently. Now, say I see Farah Alffy Rev. Is that she related to Alffy Rev? Anytime I see Alffy, I think it's him or somebody related to him. Are these instrumentalists always part of his band, or was it just guys that were on this video? Like, does he have a band? I wonder. So it's interesting. There was... And I don't know if this is, you know, just different people doing it, but you've got Farah, Alffy, Nabila. I'm not sure if this is pronounced as an L or a Y, but it's two L's, and Nabila. But then in here, Nabila only has one L, and then up here, there's no Nabila at all. It's just Farah Alffy. I'm assuming this is all the person, and maybe different people did the names in these different parts of it and just, you know, didn't triple check against each other. There's a lot of people with like just one name. Is that common for, but it seems mainly under the singers. Is that a common thing for singers to do in Indonesia, is just have one name? You see it for a few other people, but not as many as with the singers. Yeah, this is such a visual production as well as musical that I suspect there are a lot more people involved in the look at CG supervisor, Alffy Rev. Wow. Really does everything. But yeah, I think it's a lot easier to do really complicated music with just a few people, whereas I think really complicated visuals require much more teams of dancers, I saw that, teams of visual artists and computer people and all that. Is Alffy Rev, like, composed for any full-length movies? He's clearly got a style that's very kind of like film scory. I don't know if it's always like that or if it's just for these videos because they are, you know, films, really. It's a very large number of people involved in the production of this. Wow. Back, let me get a good shot to keep up on the screen. So yeah, if nothing else, I mean, it's very clear that Alffy Rev is a patriot and is a big fan of Indonesia. And I've noticed that in the comments as well, as everybody seems to have a very strong love of their country. Which, you know, after watching a few of these videos, I mean, it's just an absolutely beautiful place, and all of the people have been very friendly in comments. And so I really appreciate you guys, and I really appreciate the positive, you know, energy everybody gives when they comment. Can't tell you how much I appreciate that. So this was, yeah, this is, I feel like now that I've watched all the first two, I want to go back and rewatch the Guardians or Guardian of Nusantara. Again, I want to know if it's Nusantara or how did she say it? Nusantara? I want to make sure I'm saying that right. But I'm sure there's going to be a lot more videos. I can't imagine that Alffy Rev has only done these three. So I'm interested, like I said, to see if he's done any full, you know, longer length films, or if he's has a band, if there's any other stuff of his I should check out, or if there's any other, you know, Indonesian music I should check out as well. I mean, I've been doing a lot of, you know, Alipata, Voice of Bachaprat. I've done one Burger Kill video. The first one I did wasn't necessarily my style of music. It was a little heavier than what I normally listen to, but people have recommended some other songs that they said I would like, so I might take a look at that. But yeah, if there's other things I should be taking a look at, let me know. But one thing I'll say about Alffy Rev, and I've kind of been impressed, obviously, with everything that he's done, is there are certain people that are very creative people, no matter what, right? You know, you think about like great musicians or great artists or whatever, and usually they just focus on one thing. You've got, you know, occasional people throughout history. You look at Michelangelo, right? And the statues that he carved or the paintings that he did or whatever, like different mediums that seems like they would be very different to do, right? Some person might be a great sculptor, somebody else might be a great painter. And it would be unusual to have somebody be great at both, but then you have people that are, right? And then you look at guys like Da Vinci, who did, you know, all kinds of, you know, science things as well as, you know, paintings or whatever. So when you get somebody who thinks creatively, you could give them, you know, anything, give them just a piece of paper and a pencil, and they'll do something unusual. But you might also give them, you know, like a screwdriver and a lump of clay, and they'll do something really cool. They're like MacGyvers of art. If you don't know what MacGyver is, it's an old TV show in America about a guy who could do anything with just a few things. That wasn't exactly what it was about. It was an action kind of cop show, I think. Maybe not cop exactly, but anyway, it's not important. The important thing is this guy's directing. He's doing lots of different musical instrumentation. He's, you know, producing, directing, composing, performing. The guy just seems to do everything. And it's just, he's clearly a very talented person. And so I'm wondering where his normal focus is, or does he even have one? Like, is he a person who does movies and then like did music for this, but his primary thing is like producing and directing movies? Or is he primarily a musician who just, you know, went ahead and, you know, this was kind of a passion project of his and he did the, you know, production and the direction and everything, but that's normally not what he does. I'm just curious because it seems like he's everywhere. Computer graphics, you know, supervision. I mean, just all over. So fascinating stuff. I really can't wait to dig into some more of this. It was a little longer than I wanted before I was able to get to this one. I always say this, I'm hoping it's not going to be so long until my next one. But yeah, let me know what you think. Let me know what I should be doing next. And I appreciate you guys. I really do. I did recently hit 10,000 subscribers, and, you know, over half of my subscribers are from Indonesia. So I really appreciate you guys and all of your support. And I thank you for that. And I hope everybody's doing well. I will see you all again soon. Thanks for watching and take care. Bye.